So do you
They're
think as a
literally turning the
profession,
camera sideways. I
yeah.
just,
Do you think, I mean, it's ridiculous because in this day and age, I can tell you Caption AI, there's several apps I can tell you that you can put in your high res shit and it will make it into a vertical. The reason why that is important is because if I can take this here, 16 by 9, and crop it and make it into a vertical, I can give the actor the 16 by 9 and they'll end up with something for their demo reel. Do you think I'm going to show you a vertical on my reel next
well,
to Oppenheimer, Studio City, and all the other stuff I've done, and
but even more
Valor and
importantly,
Billy?
you can frame for both, and you have a
Yeah.
horizontal that can go all over the world and play, on TVs, and you have a vertical that can play on phones. I don't understand what they're doing. I was talking to a Chinese executive about that, and she didn't know anything about movies, and I explained that to her, and she was just just shock and awe. Like, really? You could do that? I'm like, come on,
Scooby Doo.
yeah.
Well, but and that's the thing that really makes me irritated. On top of the fact that I have to say this, that every single person I bring up verticals to always say the same things. They go, "Oh, verticals, those suck," because they tend to really, really suck. And
But hey,
China
listen,
is
I'm happy to do them if they pay me correctly and they pay me to make them. That's what I do. That's what I do as a filmmaker. I'm making a living, making movies. I would love to make an art film. I made a really good faith-based movie in April that I'm very proud of. But
yeah.
I'm in the business of making content, and so if somebody comes along and wants to pay me correctly to make a vertical, I'll make a vertical. I have no problem
Do
with that.
I know your I call it one-stop shop model. It's brilliant and it's because I've always been like when I had my Wild West company, I'd say, "Hey, I'm a one-stop shop of the cowboy world." And the reason why is because I want to make sure that not that I have control over everything, but that I have control over everything so I don't have to worry about if Jane, John, or Fran show up to work, and also it allows you to move faster if you don't have to ask 16 people a question. Your
Right.
model of getting concept, writing it, pre-production, production, post-production, all this other fun stuff like that. Do you think that if someone said to you, I want you to do a vertical, do you think the price range would be the same type of thing? And how many would you, because they want you to shoot 100 of these. So are you going to shoot one long thing and then, bring it up and after a minute of height and whatever, and then bring it down and then bring it up? And you know what I mean? Are you going to, is it the
Well,
same kind of a price tag?
first of all, budgets are relative to how much people want to spend. You know,
True.
if someone has $1 million and want to spend $1 million, I'll spend $1 million. I'll find a way to
Sure.
spend it. I might tell
Of
them,
course.
hey, if you make something for $200,000, I have a better chance of making your money back. But if they want to spend $1 million, we'll figure out where the best place to spend the money is.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
only have 85,000 make a vertical, I'll figure out how to make it for $85,000. You
Hmm.
know, so um, the main thing, by the way, with making things on budgets and how you really save money is the smaller the crew, the cheaper it's going to be generally.
Yeah.
But sometimes smaller crew allows you to do things you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Uh, um, um, I mean, look, we shot Billy the Kid out in Arizona on two Western towns. I put everybody up in hotels, some people up in hotels. Uh,
It was awesome.
and we did it with like a 9-person crew, so
Yeah.
we figured it out.
And it looks
Horses,
phenomenal. And it
and
looks phenomenal.
it looks phenomenal. But um, I don't quite know if I answered your question.
No,
Um,
yeah, I think you're saying that I'm trying to see if there's a difference from because there's definitely a difference prepped in putting together a vertical because you're shooting a movie, yes, but when you shoot a vertical, you have to kind of take those 1 minute episodes and bring them to a head to, coming next week. You have to, it's a different build. I mean, you could potentially shoot that on your iPhone 16 Pro Max and get away with it because it's going to end up on here
in
and not on some,
my movie Miloka Quinceañera, I shot this entire montage sequence at the Santa
yes,
Monica Pier on the iPhone.
I know.
I just saw it all color corrected. Oh my! It looks just like the Sony FX9. You could compare it to anything. It's amazing how good it looks.
Yeah, and I just don't think that nowadays, when you look at, and this is going to dovetail into this last part I want to talk about, but I don't think nowadays with YouTube videos and people making $20 million on going like this, and the phone looks like crap, and everybody's like, "Roar," and they got a light on their back, and they're making millions and millions of views. I said this back when I was working for Fox Kids in the 90s. I said, "Oh, you see that film, Blair Witch?" I go, "Everything's changed now. It doesn't matter now." And they go, "What do you mean?" I go, "You can shoot it through your underwear, dirty, and no one will really care because you can call it art." Now, because everybody has the option to shoot on, which is really good quality, and produce it and shoot and get it out like that, I kind of think it's almost first come, first serve.
I'm gonna try to see if I can bring up something that I think is amazing. Um, you know, what this all comes down to though, really, is story and how you tell a story. And this is
Yeah,
where the AI comes along. You can have all the AI in the world, but if you don't understand the language of film, uh,
yeah,
you really don't have anything anyways. But like I love looking at the making of things like the French Connection, right?
yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see here, right? So this is a shot from the French Connection.
Oh yeah, on the side rig.
And
Yeah,
look at that little teeny camera on the
yeah,
side of the car. I mean, that's one of the most famous movies of all time, starring Gene
yeah,
Hackman. And they weren't really doing they had their here's a picture of I'll zoom in here on they're
yeah,
kind of like Canon scooping camera or something, right? You know,
yeah.
um, so even the French Connection or Steve McQueen and Bullet or back then, and they were using these little cameras that were all sort of developed during World War II for
Yes.
battle,
Newsreel. Yeah.
newsreels and being in battle and covering that stuff. And then there are shooting movies like that, but they're never questioning the size of the camera.
No.
It's really the lenses. The lenses are really critical, but
Yes.
where you place the camera and what story you're telling,
Yes. And the
and how you're
lighting and
telling the story and how your
the
performances are. And you live or die
composition.
by your
Yeah.
actors, by the way. You
What's
really live or
that?
die by your actors. You can have the biggest budget movie in the world and you can hire a crappy actor and your movie's never going to be good. It's just not
No,
going to be good.
it is. No, it isn't.
You hire a great actor and it just lights up. It's just magic.
Yeah. I'll tell you, interesting little note is that when you talk about scripting, you know, I'd say in a year, I probably do 1,000 auditions and reads and so on. I have to tell you, and I know you know this, but there is an enormous amount of garbage out there. And
Uh
when you
yeah,
read this and you do the scene, you go, I'm in my studio going, how am I supposed to make this work? I
right,
mean,
right.
well, why wouldn't you just say that to get us here? And you do, I don't even know what you know what I feel like sometimes people write, and you understand this one. Sometimes I feel like people write to be trendy. And they're like, "Oh, if I just do this and the person's got an arm coming out of their face and they're gonna turn into an AI, that'll be great." And you're like, you didn't think this out.